Hello, welcome to Backmarker's Diary. None of this is scripted. I just do it off the cuff. Um, this was from eseniors GT3 World Championship race, which I think if you're a senior and you have a Seto Corsa, you should consider joining. It's very, very fun racing. Their new format this year was 8 weeks. 8 weeks, race every Saturday at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 1 hour race. You have to pit once. It's a super blast. It's like you have two groups of cars on the track. Usually have over 30 drivers. Uh, this race was 31. We've had a couple that I think the first week was like 40 drivers. So there's always like tons of action on the track. It's no matter what position you are in, first or last, you're gonna have a lot of fun in this race. And there's gonna be excitement in this league. Uh, there's gonna be drama, just like a regular, NASCAR, F1, IMSA, whatever stuff's gonna happen. Uh, People are competitive, Uh, when the competitiveness in people takes over, sometimes people act differently too. You could be the nicest guy in the world, and it'd be great to go fishing. Hey, you want to go fishing? Sure. But when it comes to the sim racing game, that same guy, you know, for that virtual position he wants so bad, you never know what can happen really. But let's get on with this. Diary of a Backmarker, eseniors. This is the beginning of my race. We'll start it out. I'm at the back of the pack with David Lawrence. I'm in the 818 yellow bright car, probably the brightest car on the track. Maybe the pink. There's a pink car that's pretty bright. I have the 513 of James Parks next to me. We're getting. This is the warm up lap. I'll speed it up a few. That was weird. That was a car off to the side there already. Okay, this was live. Hold on, let me get back to the beginning. So this is the front set. Now we're live. This is the live lap one. I decided to lay way back, like 5, 10 car lengths at least, just to make sure that turn one, there wasn't a lot of wrecks, and I didn't want to be part of any of the problem if there was a problem. They emphasize, lap one when everybody's jumbled up. You get a wreck in lap one, it's going to cost you more than any other lap. So it pays to be very careful on lap one, because if you get an incident, there's an incident right there. Let's check that out. See what happened here. Oof, cars tangled up everywhere. Let's go back. All right, so everything looks good through here. This guy's making good progress up front here. Looks like he's going to pass there. Doesn't make the pass. And we got ourselves a dive bomb. Bam, hits him twice. Let's pause this. Lap one incident. Not sure if it's the only one. It's the only one I see. The other thing I observed about this incident is that neither one of these drivers, after the incident, unfortunate incident occurred, neither one of them got on their brakes. A little brake action there, but now he's gassing. Gasses right into the other car. Rolling, no brake. He's just rolling. It's a gas a little bit. And that's one big mistake both these drivers made. Neither one of them got on the brakes and locked their car down. So it's very difficult for the other drivers coming along to negotiate a moving target. So these two cars, it won't be the first, it won't be the last time these two cars get together in this race. So let's go back to my own race. Kind of missed some of it here. I have the Porsche behind me of Lawrence. I got lucky, went to the correct side of the track. You see the cars still hitting each other back there. The 513 of Jay Parks got hit by one of those cars. And I have Banks behind me. How did Banks fall back so bad? So Banks somehow got way back here. He must got caught up in that incident. Okay, he slowed. He's trying to figure out how to get by. How the heck did I get past him? He slowed down there and he got a little bit loose, I see. So now, poor guy's stuck behind me. I went wide there. I noticed some. I noticed that the BMW just seems very sluggish to the corners. Very good on straights, but the corners. I'm thinking about doing something like run way less wing but higher TC. So this way I could take more advantage of uh, the straight, the straights, the speed on the straights. This is the first time I've looked at my own race, and it looks like he's gonna get me going into the corner here. Well, it backs off. There was a car. Oh, that was Shannon, and he reported that he was having problems with his brakes. Let's see exactly. What went on there for him. Oh, he hit the 770. This is the 770. Leader. Just one of the top guns in this class. Who did a nice job of saving it. Really nice job. And I got Banks and Schmidt behind me battling. Oh, wait a second here. There's something else going on. Let's change the view here. The things you see. You start seeing all kinds of stuff when you go through a race like this. Okay, so this is the 13th place driver. The nice thing too about YouTube now is if you find something, an incident that happens that you see on this, you could actually clip it. And you could clip the incident from my stream and then just have a quick clip of whatever might have happened to you and then share it with other people. So this battle is, this is the 12th place of Nemeth. Okay, let's take a look at that again. I know there was some anger going on in Discord when this happened because I heard it. Some rage, little raging. He gets bumped. He gets bumped from behind. All kinds of cars going off there, trying to avoid the any further incident. Good job by all, I think. Good job by all sorting that incident out and getting around it with no more issues. I kind of saw that pass coming, so I lifted off. There, I'm pretty sure I lifted off. Did I lift off? Yeah, I did have my foot on the brakes. It was a good clean pass. Feel pretty comfortable racing around Brian. And that was Schmidt put a pretty nice pass on me there. For some reason, early on, I could not get up to speed. I don't know what was going on. During the race, I ended up doing like in the 134s, but early on, I could not get any speed at all. I don't know if I was carrying too much fuel or what, but I was really struggling the first 4 or 5 laps. I broke early there, let him go. I was like again, I was really struggling so badly the first 5 laps. I don't know. I couldn't figure out. I was starting at one point thinking that I had the wrong setup loaded. I generally try and give the 712 a lot of room, and there's no offense to you, sir. But I try to avoid incidents when I can. Wow! Look at that missile! Holy smokes! Watch this. We'll watch it once in regular speed. Oh my goodness. That was one aggressive dive bomb. Oh my goodness. Let's try this in slow. Braked way late, and I saw it coming in my mirror. And I was like, uh-oh. I just had a feeling that was coming. Spidey senses were tingling. Here we go. Let's get the mirror. You can see in the TV what I was looking at, and also see why I did what I did. Watch my brake. I kept the brake on because I knew he was coming hard. I just had a feeling, and sure enough, he just went flying by. Watch this. That's what you call oh shit moment. And luckily I was able to escape incident. So now behind me I have Peter LaFrance is kind of struggling, super fast driver generally, but really struggling. And he got kind of caught in the back here. Well, there's a battle going between Peter and Hugo, and also James and the 513 and myself. See Molesky trying to pass the Porsche of Messick in the background. He's probably a little leery of corners after. He's probably a little leery of corners after that pass, or attempted pass. Let's kick it up a little bit. Schmidt. Oh! Boy, I clicked on that at just the right time. Let's take a look, see what happened here. I just happened to click on that just at the right time. Okay, he's behind. Oh! No, he wasn't behind. So Nemeth gets behind. Oh, he had the incident with Queen. Queen had gotten by Schmidt. Schmidt goes off and comes back on and hits Nemeth. And back to the end. Back to the end. Back to the end again. That's what I'm saying. See, like, the 712 seems to have inclination to find trouble. No offense, but you know, it is what it is. So now I'm in a battle with Jay Parks, the 513. We're pretty equal. It might be a little faster, I think, in time, but we're pretty equal. Usually we seem to find each other in a track pretty often. And right behind him is LaFrance. And I realize Peter's back there. Peter's faster generally than both of us. And I'm really struggling. So, I'm starting to already think, do I let Peter and Hugo get right up to us, even though I'm battling with James? Do I figure out a way conveniently letting Peter LaFrance by and Hugo by? Because they're two platinum drivers stuck, trapped inside the battle of silvers. And there goes, that solves part of my problem right there. See, Peter LaFrance went off. And now I have the battle with James. And I'm just not up to pace. It took me a while to start traveling faster. I just couldn't get the let out. But at the same time, James wasn't able to get by. So this is a very hard track, not a lot of places to pass. And you'll see Hugo and Messick behind, and then behind them is Molesky. and there's like basically nobody in front of me right now. I never see a lot of people do from this much broadcasting from this view, and I figured this is a cool way to see. I finally got a little faster. There's my fastest lap. I'm finally into the 35s, and we're already on lap 6. So it took me really a while to uh, get going. So you see, in the way background, you see Nemeth catching up to us. So you have myself, then James, Hugo, Messick, and then Molesky, then Nemeth. James is right up to my bumper there. You can see James's view from behind him. This is James's view. He's got Hugo all over him. And now Messick wants to get by Hugo. Keep in mind, both those cars tangled up earlier. And you got Molesky hot on the tail of Messick. And just behind them is Nemeth. Early on, all these cars are still on the lead lap. Ooh, that's aggressive. And Hugo and Nemeth. See, once again, Nemeth caught up. In yet another wreck. Poor guy. I mean, eventually you have to think, like, make more room. You have to plan your attack. If you're behind somebody like that going into a corner, stuff's going to happen. You have to leave room and plan your attacks. So Hugo now is second time taken out from behind. And there, James made a nice pass on me. I screwed up and went wide, and James took advantage of it. And now also Messick gets by me. Messick very aggressive through the corner, trying to... And that's the thing with the Porsche. The Porsche doesn't have good straight line speed, so I think that might be the reason why the Porsche driver would try to take advantage in corners, because I think the Porsche's strength is corners. But at the same time, gotta watch that bumper in the corners. If you're hitting cars several times a race, it's time you have to rethink things. As James goes off, so now Messick is by James, myself behind James, and then behind myself is Molesky and also Shannon, who's come out of nowhere. He had that earlier off where he hit leader from behind and then spun off. He said his brake basically blew up. Speed this up a little bit. That's Nemeth coming out of the pits. Okay, so now James is off. There's James right there. He made a mistake, ended up in the wall. And now I have Nemeth behind me. And Nemeth is already a lap down. And I'm like, I don't want, you know, because of Nemeth's track record with incidents. Sorry, Nemeth. I decide I'm going to let him go because really it's pointless to keep him behind me. So I move way over. I lose very little time by letting him go. He's a, again, he's a platinum driver. I'm a silver driver. It's hard to think in those terms of letting a space go, but I think it was well worth letting him go rather than risk a possible incident. Because look, if you've already been in 3 incidents or 4 incidents in a race by at this point and you're a lap down, uh, conscious wise, what's another incident? That's why I think the 3 incident rule works. If someone gets into 3 incidents in a race, they should sit out. Like once you're in 3 spins or 3 wrecks or a combination of both, at that point you should think to yourself, how many mistakes am I going to make? And at this point, I need to get out. I need to just get out of this race before I wreck anyone else or get into more wrecks. And that's the way we used to do it in NASCAR racing online. There's guys that spin out 5, 6 freaking times, 7 times in a race. That would have never been allowed back in the NASCAR racing leagues. You do that, you'd be sitting out for a couple races. There goes Molesky. Let's see what happened to him. And that's the problem with this game, really. The problem with this game is there's not enough consequences for your mistakes. That's the difference between this game and iRacing. iRacing, you make those kind of mistakes. Your speed is not going to allow you to make up for your issues. Like there's some guys in here that are so fast they can make 3 or 4 mistakes, hit walls and everything else, and still pass the slower guys. I prefer a more realistic thing, but I love this game. But at the same time, I have a love-hate relationship with it because I don't think it's penalizes people enough for mistakes and car damage when they run into walls and things like that. It just lets them get away with way too much. The game. I spun right in that same spot. I don't know how many times practicing, so I know how he feels. It's part of the reason why I'm using, if you look to see, I'm using 6 of 10 for TC. Because that having it at 6 of 10 saves me from having several incidents like that. And now Mr. Shannon has caught me. Broken brake and all. So he's doing 134s. I am not in the 134s yet. Still kind of grandpaing around. That's part of my problem. Usually, I don't really start really getting my blood going until like the end of the race. And usually when the races come to an end, I'm like, man, I want to race another half hour. I'm like all revved up and ready to go. I'm almost disappointed, or I'm ready to do another race after the race is over, because my adrenaline, by the time the end of the races, my adrenaline's starting to kick in. It takes me a little longer. But this race was a lot of fun. I love this format. As far as the 60 minutes and the 2 groups racing together, I really like it. In fact, I really believe they should make 3 groups instead of 2 groups. It would be much more fun, much more competitive if you had 3 groups broken into three classes instead of just 2. He's got a good pass on me. There's Molesky coming out of the pits. He went wide there, and I was like, okay. He went wide. I'm going for it. I lifted off there a little bit because I didn't want to take any chances of contact. Probably was a little too careful there, but that's all right. Now you have Molesky, who's already pitted. He might even be a lap down now. I'm not sure. His quickest lap, he was in the 134s right there. And I'm still not in the 134s yet. But everybody I was racing with, as they were left me or gone, like this guy, he's in what? 2 incidents, and he's 8 seconds. This is what I'm talking about, about the damage. This guy was in 2 incidents, and he's like 10 seconds ahead of me. To me, that's just not realistic at all. The damage in this game just doesn't mean a lot. Skip up a little bit. So, as you see, I'm starting to catch up now because all of a sudden I'm doing 134s. I wish I had done 134s from the beginning of the race, but unfortunately, it wasn't until like half the race was over that I started kicking it up quite a bit. Molesky is the next car behind me. And James, I'm not sure if he's pit at this point, but towards the end of the race, he really starts kicking it up. I think he must have pitted because you see he's got no damage here. I'm actually starting to catch Shannon here. See if there's anybody behind us. Here you have guy showing 22nd, but he finished, I think, 4th or 5th. Coming up on us. Kind of a bummer because I did a pretty good job of catching up to. My last was 135. His last was 34. But I did a pretty good job at catching up to him. But now we have this guy whose lap time is basically like 3 seconds faster than ours. Also, this guy helped me quite a bit last week preparation for last week's race. Appreciate his help. Okay, so knowing he's coming up on me, I try to go wide and hoping he's probably like a little cautious, but I'm trying to leave the door open for him, which I did. And at the same time, hopefully not lose too much time on the 55. So I'm thinking 55 is also going to let by the 486. But now you see that gap is growing. I'm actually losing time And now I'm thinking about, man, now is probably a good time to pit or the next lap. There you see he's let him by. And I decide, let's risk and do one more lap. And I lost almost 2 seconds on that lap. And I'm probably about to lose more time because now I have the leader. In retrospect, I would have been much better off pitting right then. Watching this back now, I regret. I wasn't. I probably didn't lose much time there. So I see the leader coming up. Make plenty of room for him. Next, I have Derek Bird coming up on me. These guys, I'm not sure if they have been in the pits yet, but they must be getting close to being in the pits. Now, in seasons past, what I would have done at this point is just completely slow down and move out of the way. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm holding my line and expecting them. I'll cooperate. At the same time, I'm trying to hold my line and not lose time. I did a great job right there of making sure that I didn't cross going too fast. But then I screwed up and passed my pit marker, and I lose like another 4 seconds while they roll me back. So I felt like I got my tower buzz coming out of the pits, but let's see exactly what happened. Maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. I'm on this side of the white line. Bam! Look at that. Let's see how close that was. It felt close. I don't know if it was close as what it felt like. It just felt like, holy crap. Yeah, that was. Oh my God, that was close. To be honest, though, I would say that was probably my fault, not his. I should have been a little more aware. Sometimes, though, coming out of the pits, because it for some reason it slows down the actual meter of like who's coming along uh, with the people that are still in the pits. That would have been horrible if something happened there. So I come out of the pits. Let's see. When I went in the pits, I was 21st. I lost 4 positions in the pits, including the one in front of me, which was not for position. It looks like leader's doing very well, even despite getting caught up in an incident earlier on. I don't think I had any more battles with, unfortunately, that was Chris Moses that just passed me. Unfortunately, I don't think I had any battles with my peers after this, which was kind of a bummer. So the rest of the race was somewhat uneventful for me. I'm just going to put it on fast forward at this point. If you're still watching this at this point, don't forget to hit thumbs up and see any discrepancies or want to make a comment at all, feel free to make a comment. Oh, there's a little runoff. I think that might have been one of my only runoffs. Man, that was close. Right in front. That was a bad place to run off. That was one of my worst mistakes during the race. I don't know if it was that would be considered a full runoff. Did I actually go off the track? Yes, I did. I'm completely off the track there. And that was Messick going into for his pit. That was close. So that was definitely my. I think that might have been my one and only off during the race. And it wasn't. It wasn't too bad. Could have been a lot worse. So that's Young behind me. Move out of his way. I just think it pays, as I hopefully improve. I think it pays to race as clean and gentlemanly as possible. But I do not like the gentleman rule. I race as a gentleman already, and I like the realistic rules. Like if my thing is if I hit someone, I'm not gonna sit on the track and wait for them. That's just not realistic. If I go and they catch up to me, then I'll let them by, and then I'll apologize after the race, and I'll let everyone know that I hit the guy. So at that point, that I should lose whatever points for hitting him. I should not get more points off for not waiting. That makes zero sense. It's like the honor system, I guess. Like okay, by waiting, you're getting penalized the time by waiting. But what's hidden in that rule is when you come out back on track with the other driver in front of you, who's to say maybe by waiting now you're holding up other people that are behind you after you wrecked? I don't like it. Let's just skip up a little bit. I'm in Death Valley here. There's like nobody around me. Here comes Derek Bird. I remember it kind of got hairy one time where he was trying to pass. Right here, I probably should have lifted. I thought he was going to pass me. That's why I went way over there. But the Porsche just, he didn't gain on me, like in the straight at all. Look at, he doesn't gain on me at all. There he gains on me like crazy. You see, I put the brakes on. The next car behind me is Novus. I brake a little bit just to let him by. I probably didn't even need the brake there. Just basically me getting passed a lot at this point. Whoa, that was a little hairy right there. I got a whole train of cars trying to get by me. This is the last one I was trying to pass. You have plenty of room. I even went off track for this guy. You know, I didn't lose any. Well, the last lap I lost 3 seconds. Look, I did 138. So it did cost me a lot of time. And that actually gave Jay Parks a chance to cut like my buffer in half. Okay, so James just got passed by Zimmer and Trowbridge. Good battle between Trowbridge and Zimmer, it looks to be. Looks like Zimmer's fallen behind a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, so Trowbridge went off and lost the position, but the position is meaningless. It doesn't really count for his standings. And behind them is there's a car behind them. This 513 behind them. And I'm just pretty much running by myself at this point. And I'm catching up to Schmidt, who's I think already he might already be down a lap at this point. Okay, so there's Zimmer behind me. He's gaining on me. He's not. He's not for position. He's about to put a lap on me. Takes the inside. Looks like Terry got a little bit loose there. At this point, I should be thinking about getting out of the way. Terry, there we go. Now I'm out of Terry's way. I knew I was hemorrhaging time to the 513, so I started thinking about it a little bit. And I didn't want to. I didn't want another 138 lap like that. The 138 laps were just not good for me. Two BMWs running together. His best lap was a 134.6. My best lap was a 134.2. Very close times. I knew going into this race, I didn't put a lot of time in practice, but I knew I just wanted to finish the race. Like that was my thing. Just race clean, don't hit anyone, and keep it on the track. And try not to get in the way. Try not to get in the way too much to the faster guys. I think this is the last lap. There's someone going in the pits right there. Oh, that's Driscoll. So I did move up to 23rd. Someone was saying, no, you didn't finish 23rd or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I did move up to 23rd right there, but it wasn't for position, unfortunately. Like it was for overall position, not position in my division. So basically, overall in the race, see 37. I started 30th. And I'm up to 23rd. So I moved up 7 spots altogether. You know what? I'm pretty happy with that. Anytime you can move, race through, I don't know how many countless incidents, and move up 7 spots, I'll take it. Because even if you're slower, not making mistakes. Because this was real racing, not making real mistakes in a real race, you could gain tons of positions, and that is called racecraft. Unfortunately, the mistakes people make in this game, you don't really get penalized very badly. You can just run all out constantly, hit walls and everything else, and there's like almost no penalty. Also, James Parks, good finish. I mean, James got caught up in some wrecks, blah blah blah. Went off once, pounded the wall, and still finished right behind me. Good finish for Columbe. Congratulations to Ellis and Zimmer. Leader. Don't forget, Leader got hit early in the race, but he managed to hold on to it. Ooh, we're getting some lag here. This is the final lap. The fireworks are going off here. I feel like something's downloaded in my computer because I keep getting these brief hesitations. So this is about an hour, this wrap up. Longer than what I wanted to do, but it's all right. It's for my own benefit as well because I get a chance, not just for clicks, get a chance to see what my mistakes are, things that happen, watch other people's mistakes or things they do good, and that helps me learn. One thing that I take away from this race, see right there, somebody left. So it showing me moving up to 22nd. Excuse me. Um, I need to be a little more aware of my timing. Like there's a couple things like when I was coming out of the pits, probably could have been a little bit slower coming out of the pits than I was. Would have been better off because then wouldn't have had that almost incident with Nemeth. I think that, which I think was more my fault than his, because I was already past the white line when he came across the front of my car. Other than that, pretty good. I only went off once during the race, and I just need to be faster. And if I was faster earlier, or more in a rhythm earlier, it would have been more beneficial. I mean, Charles was 24 seconds in front of me. So if I was a second faster each lap, maybe I woulda, coulda, shoulda, you know, been contending for that position in my class. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I was eighth. J Parks ninth. Schmidt 10th. Shannon 11th. Let's see on the first where was I early on. I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I moved up 5 positions in my class. But thanks for viewing. I'm going to cut this off because I really didn't want to go over an hour. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for viewing. Best wishes. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe.